Good day to you, partner. I'm Guy, and I can already tell that I'll be your best friend in this forsaken camp.
Hey guys, Wheat Solo here, aka the Skeleton King. So we have a video today about a controversy that was shaking the very core of Project Diablo 2 community. There are many controversies going on right now. Some have to do with rational things, like whether or not auras should be nerfed because they're too strong, and how Nova builds kind of abuse them, who were nerfed, but if you nerf the radius of auras, then doesn't that only hurt builds that aren't Nova based, who have a small radius as well? And so it's complicated. It's complicated. Fire golems, it's complicated. People want to have fun with fire golems. They want to have fun so bad they're making memes and spamming them all over Discord and bugging me nonstop about it, which is fine because they make free content for me, which will be eventually used in a video. But that's not this controversy. This controversy had to do with something different. It had to do with a Canadian who just doesn't understand basic gameplay mechanics. And Sir Alanus III, who basically broke the game by understanding that BONERHEW is better than Brand. And it may not seem that way because BONERHEW has a basically way less than half the damage of Brand because it has a level 22 on Striking Bone Spear as opposed to Brand's chunky level 45. But what BONERHEW does provide is it's cooler because it's got Boner in the name, and we're playing a Bone Spear based build. And you can actually get it to 3-frame attack. Now, am I at a 3-frame attack in this video? I don't even know. I think I'm actually not. I think I'm at 4 frames attack, but I'm a Necromancer. I don't play melee builds, and I especially don't play lycanthropy builds, which have their stupid only main hand IAS requirements, which really isn't stupid, but I just didn't want to have to deal with calculating it. So Sir Alanus is basically right because just the fact that you can attack 3 times faster basically means that even though you're doing half the damage, means it's a superior option. I mean, the bow gives you an arrow slot, but no one picks up arrows anyways, so the chance you find a good piece of rare arrows just really isn't worth it. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't have ignore target defense, but you could get that with corruptions. So I think that was a design choice by Senpai because he understood that if BONERHEW basically had ignore target defense on it, with 4 sockets, you would probably break the game. Another thing I'd like to bring up is that the player on screen is clearly not good enough to be able to weapon swap and be able to use hunger, so keep that in mind as well. Okay, enough with memeing. Is this build worth your time? I was going to try to meme until I die in this map, but I'm getting kind of sick of it. I'll give it this. Sir Alanus, it's more fun to play just because I attack quicker, so you were correct there. Attacking quicker is better. Unfortunately, you do such little damage, it's really not worth it. Now, you could look at my gear and say I'm not giving it a serious shot. I really think you could avoid having any AR, but in this map it just didn't work out for me. There's too many times I'm running into a champ or an elite, and I'm just never hitting them, and it sucks. So what you'd have to do probably is skip those mobs. And if you're playing any sort of build on a Necromancer where you have to hit melee mobs anyways, unless you're Poison Strike, honestly, it's kind of hard. Even on Poison Strike builds, it's hard to deal with AR because Necromancers just aren't good at getting attack rating. One of the reasons why is we don't really have a good access to flat AR buffs, and flat AR buffs is what make it really easy. And there, I'm dead. And I could probably finish the map and not die. I could make myself tankier and less fast. But again, the whole point of this was to be as fast as possible. And with Blaze, which is awesome now, by the way, because Blaze lets you phase through enemies. It's like the coolest item in the game. Blaze, Vigor, and Hustle with Hunger, you gotta go fast. And the thing is, I'm like, okay, so what could you do with this build? Okay, obviously it should probably still be tankier anyways, even for this. Just a little bit, okay? A little more life and a little more FHR would really go a long way. But I don't really want to do that, and I think if you did stick to farming LOD areas, this build has a slight reason to exist. Now, why is that? Since I'm attacking about 3 times as fast, probably 2.5 times as fast, honestly, than a Brand crossbow, especially if you made it in a demon crossbow. I think it would only be 2.5 times faster. I basically, if I can two-shot enemies, it's worth. And then if I'm two-shotting enemies and it feels better because attacking faster feels better, then that's a reason for this build to exist. So if you're sitting in your computer right now and you're stroking yourself watching this amazing man on screen play a build about as good as possible. I mean, only Sir Al-Anis could play it better than me. And you go to yourself, I also want to play a melee bear necro based around proccing Bone Spear without the use of Innocence and with the use of my big, meaty bear hands. And then you could imagine those bare hands holding me if you want. You could imagine those bare hands holding anything, like a big BONERHEW. Then this is the build for you. And this version would be the best if you also said to yourself, I like farming corrupted zones and keys late into the season when I have all this money to make this build, which isn't actually that expensive, to be honest. A BONERHEW and Hustle, that's budget. So the last point is there a way you could run BONERHEW and Hustle budget? No. I don't think so. But does it cost that much to make this build to have fun with it? Not really. I think the most expensive item on it is Faith, and you wouldn't need some of the other defensive options. So anyways, Sir Al-Anis was right. The Canadians were wrong. Again. Skelly King out. GG.
Come and play with us, Daddy.